In this video, I'm going to talk to you about creating a word art design in Microsoft Word. The reason I'm doing this is I see so many people looking for fonts that they can design with. And so what I'm going to teach you today is how to use some fonts. The first thing you'll want to do is find the font that you want to use for your word art. And I went into my Creative Fabrica account and I found this Groovy font. I really like it. I found a couple of them that I like. I downloaded both of them, but we're going to be using this Groovy font. So you're going to want to download your font. After you download your font, you're going to want to open that folder and pick the one that you want to install. Now here's what it looks like, and as you can see on the top left, it has the word print and install. When you've picked the one that you want, you're going to want to hit install. After you've installed the font that you want to use, you're going to open your Word. You're going to open a new document, and then you're going to go here to insert on the top left, and then you're going to go over to the icon for word art. And when you hover over that icon, you're going to see those A's drop down there. So what I did was I picked one of those. I think I picked the second blue one. So now this is what it'll look like after you click on that word art icon. Now go up to the left on your home tab and you're going to see your font, and you can see that I have changed that to Groovy, and then I also changed the size to 200. You can highlight, usually it'll only go up to 72, so if you highlight that 72 then you can type 200 over it. That's how I've gotten this to be 200 as my size. Now you'll see that text that we had originally pulled up, it says your text here, is now in the Groovy font. Your next step is you are going to want to highlight that text that said your text here, and you're going to want to change it to what you want it to say. And I want it to say Senior 23. On that same home page, you can hover over the icon to change the text color, and you can see here where that's at. And then you can hover over all those colors, or you can go into more colors, you can go into gradient, you can go to whatever you want. On this one, I just changed it to an orange to show you what that looks like and how easy it is to change your color. I'm not going to leave it orange. I don't really like that color. This is the color that I want. I want it in this blue because my granddaughter is graduating and this is her high school color. Now here's where it's going to get fun for you. So now you're going to go up and see where it says Shape Format on the upper right. You're going to click that tab, and then you're going to click the text effects icon. It's that A that's kind of light blue there. And then you're going to drop it down in the arrow, and you're going to see at the bottom it says Transform. And then in Transform, you're going to pick the warp that you want. So that is going to change the look of what you've got there. Now here you can see the warp that I picked, and it has a nice little wave to it. So now when you're gonna hover over that, and you're gonna want to pick the layout option of wrap and through, because when you pick that wrap through, you're going to be able to move this anywhere on the page that you want it. Now you can see that since I picked that wrap and through, I was able to stretch this out. I did not change the font size. I just picked up and stretched it out to fill the page. This is an 8.5 by 11 that I have it on landscape mode. And so in layout, it's on landscape and it's 8.5 by 11. So that is about the right size for the back of a t-shirt. This is just more of a close-up view of what it'll look like on that 8.5 by 11. I do set my margins as close to 0 as I can get them. That way you can have your image bigger on your paper. So actually my margins are set to 0. I just didn't quite drag it all the way to the edge. The next step is to save your Word document somewhere where you're going to be able to find it because it's time to print. So now go to your print settings and see the word printer properties. That's what I want you to click next. Now everybody's printer properties are going to be a little different depending on what printer they're using. I am using an Epson EcoTank 2760 that I have converted over to Sublimation ink. So on this first page when you're in there, the paper type that I use the most is Premium Presentation Paper Matte. That tends to be the best for me for shirts especially. And then you're going to want to pick high quality. You do not want to have standard or medium or anything like that. You want it to be high quality so it prints nice and slow and the ink is drying out good for you. Now the next tab you're going to want to click is More Options. And you can see on the very bottom it says Additional Settings. You want to turn high speed off. Uncheck high speed. That will ruin your sublimation images. You do not want fast printing. And you also want to hit Mirror Image. You always want to check mirror image, or when you go to press this on your shirt, it's going to be backwards. Now you're also going to see image options, and you can see in here that I have chosen Emphasize More from the drop down arrow, and then on the left I have checked the box Emphasize Thin Lines. Then click OK. Now I use ASUB 125 paper or HTV RONT 125 paper. I like the 125. I can use it on cloth. I can use it on ceramic. I use it on puzzles. I use it on my tumblers when I sublimation tumblers. If you're going to buy a pack of 100 paper, get something that you're going to be able to use universally. So those are just a couple that I like to use. All right, now you've got your image printed. It's time to go and press. Depending on what kind of press you use, standard go-to for me is 385 degrees. Now it all depends on what you're putting this on. If you're putting it on 100% polyester, my time for that is 25 to 35 seconds for cloth. Now, if you're going to be putting it on a cotton blend, then we'll have to talk in a different video. But right now, I'm going to assume that you're going to be putting this on 100% polyester. So my recommended time and temperature is 385 degrees for between 25 and 35 seconds. So have a great day. And if you like my video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.